Natalie with you today with a new clean and simple way of using the Arch of Flowers bundle to create a new memory keeping layout. Come join me. Hi there and welcome to a new episode of Inspired by a Card with Natalie. Today we're going to be working with the new Arch of Flowers stamp, stencil, and die bundle. And I love, and I think a lot of the design team love this stamp set. It's just a really fun way of creating, in my case, a piece for my memory keeping, but it works great for cards and totally different projects. So today's inspiration comes from Karen Brown, and I love this card because he uses part of the stamp to create, I'm going to say kind of a diagonal design, and it gives you this clean and simple look. And I want to go for that for my layout. So I'm starting by using black Obsidian ink to just add, I'm going to say color in this case, or stamp the image. And you're going to see that I'm flipping the page of my personal journal around, I'm going to say around 20 degrees. And I want to stamp the image so that it only picks the corner part, the bottom corner of my layout. So I'm not going to get the arches. I just want the top of the flowers. And in a way, I'm creating this angle on my page. So if you see Karen, she just stamped the one single corner. I'm actually going to elongate it because the paper that I'm using, the sheets or the pages for my album are 5 inches in width by 8 1/4. So I need to find a way to elongate the design. And all I'm doing is just kind of following the diagonal look. And because these are branches, I am able to play with them and make them one a little bit higher, one a little bit lower. So it gives me that kind of angular idea. Kind of think of it as kind of like a triangle. And you're going to see that I'm going to add a few extra, what would you call them? Like flowers or little branches, just to help me with the design. So kind of have a little bit of a curvature just to clean a little bit that straight line, soften it up a little bit. But once I have that, I am going to go ahead and use the stencil. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to stamp two of the images, the full images with the curvature in a separate cardstock. And I want that because even though it's clean and simple, I need to add dimension. So I am actually just stamping, and I'm going to color it along as I'm coloring my borders, so that I can add it to my layout later on. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it because it actually works great for the cards too. So once I have everything, it's all about coloring. And I'm going to follow actually the pamphlet to color my design. I am using the stencils that you can find that match the Arch of Flowers stamp. This is the Arch of Flowers stencil. And it's super easy to color. You have little sections just that match them onto your image, and that's gonna take me a little bit longer because I don't have the full image, so it's gonna match them. And I'm gonna use colors. I want to use like something really springy because my pictures already have a lot of color. So I'm gonna use Warm Sunshine for the center of the flowers. I'm gonna use a combination of Firefly, Greenfield, and Shadow Creek for my greens, for all my leaves. You're gonna see that I'm gonna add them in different tones to get a little bit of dimension. I am using Icy Water for the little buds. I'm gonna use Pink Diamond and Pink Halicious for my daisies, and I am using Petal Sunrise and Canyon Clay for my little for the smaller daisies. So just have a combination of oranges and pinks. There's a little bit of purple. Actually, I'm going to use Wisteria and Hydrangea for the little flowers. So I'm going to show you a little bit of how I created. And it was super simple. I'm just using one of the mini ink blending brushes. I'm just dabbing it or picking up some ink. And then going a circular motion on top of the stencil. That's just going to deposit the ink onto my image that already stamped. You're going to see in the greens, I started with Firefly just to give it a light color green. And then I'm just going careful towards the center of the flowers just to deepen the color. Even though they're small flowers, I am trying to give them a little bit of extra dimension. And that's what I'm using, the smaller brushes. I'm using my detailing fine brushes to stencil and all the little details. And also the mini ink blending tools just to create the small flowers. So this is going to take me, like I said, it took me a little bit longer than the usual because I'm creating the two sides of my pages, and I'm also creating the two separate images. I want them all to have the same color. I'm going to use the Arch of Flowers die to actually cut those two images that I created in a separate piece of cardstock. And I am using a 65-pound cardstock for my background, and I'm using 110 Nina Solar Crest white for the arches that I created separately. Now you're gonna see that I've already glued my pictures right onto my page, and you're gonna see that the pictures are around, I'm gonna say 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So they're actually gonna cover some of the images that I stenciled and colored. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the separate images that I created to actually superimpose them on top of what I have in stencil. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of dimension, and like I said, I don't want to cover my flowers, so I make sure that I place my pictures in a way that I'm not gonna cover faces or anything important where I put the flowers on top of it. So simply, you're gonna see me that I cut the arches around the long branches from the side, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of foam adhesive, and that's gonna give me some dimension. It's gonna bring a little bit more interest to the background. Even though it's a clean and simple layout, I just want to give it a little dimension. So I add a little bit of foam adhesive to the flowers. That's gonna give it the lift, and then I'm gonna cut the excess. Now I'm gonna be careful not to just chop it. I want to make sure that I keep some of the branches, because I'm gonna use those extra branches to help me create a bigger cluster right at the corner. So you're gonna see, once I have my 2 corners in place, I've trimmed the excess. All the pieces that I have left over that I have full flowers or full leaves, I am actually gonna use them just to in a way, like I said, just make the cluster a little bit fuller. I want the attention or the main focus to be in the diagonal lines. So think of it at the top left corner and the bottom right corner of my layout. You're gonna see that I'm just playing with the pieces that I have. I'm gonna add some foam adhesive behind it, mostly right at the tip of the leaves or anything that I'm using, so that it creates that it goes from flat to gives it a little bit of the shadow. Once I have all my pieces in place, I'm gonna keep it, like I said, super simple. So I am gonna bring the chipboard alpha from the Enjoy the Ride collection, and also the chipboard stickers from the same collection to create my title. There's a little piece that says "Let's do this," so I'm going to put it right on the bottom corner of the left picture, and then I'm going to use the alphas to put the let's do this, and it's game time, because my kids on Good Friday here in my apartment when we were home, so we decided to play games. So we played quite a few runs of Scrabble that night. So I wanted to just remember that. My kids are older, so they don't like to do that many things with us anymore. So once I have my title in place, I am using that little, you're going to see that green piece at the top. It's a piece of ephemera from the Live Your Dream collection. I don't want to add that much bulk behind my picture, so I'm just going to trim the bottom part of it. I just want the part that says "A Day to Remember," and I'm just going to use it. Think of it as a layer behind my picture. Once I have that, I am actually going to add enamel dots. If you see the picture, the card that Karen created, she added enamel dots to the center of the flowers. I'm going to add the enamel dots as, think of it as an extension of my flowers. Think of it as just sprinkles in the air in this case. So I'm going to make sure that I bring a few colors that match my background. So some purples, some oranges, a little bit of green, and a little bit of pink, just to pick up all the colors that I have behind it. I'm going to bring my fine liner from Altenew just to add some, just a few lines of journaling. Like I said, it's already Good Friday, and we just spend the day playing Scrabble and staying home really with veg. So I'm just going to add a few lines of journal right underneath the picture on the right. And that's about it. Super simple. Like I said, I think we all love the Arch of Flowers when, this set came out, which is just in the recent blog hop. So I hope you check it out. As always, if you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me. You can check the blog for more details. And always remember to subscribe to the channel. There's always lots of content being added to the Altenew channel. Thank you for joining me. Take care.
Hello crafters, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thanks for watching.